Hi, I'm Rocket with Wreckless Blenders. Welcome to Musings from Rocket's Cellar. In today's session, I am going to do a vertical tasting of the Wreckless Wred. Now, Wreckless Wred is a blend, so it may not be the best candidate for doing vertical tastings, but boy, it's a fun one to do with. Let's get started. So what's a vertical tasting? Well, a vertical tasting is multiple vintages or multiple years of the same varietal. That's a traditional vertical tasting. Now you could do some other vertical tastings that would be an interesting situation. I'm just thinking out loud here. I mean, you could do some from the same location. Like you could buy 3 Napa, rock pile, Napa something or another's, or one of the Howell Mountain, 3 things from Howell Mountain, or 3 things from Andy Stevenson and Andy and Elizabeth out there at Shaker Ridge. You can compare them. 3 things from the same vineyard made by 3 different winemakers. I mean, these are all pretty interesting things to do in a vertical tasting. Now with the Wreckless Wred, this is more about just, it's fun to see how it's evolved and how it's changed. We make the Wreckless Wred to, in a way where it's like, tells us what it wants to do and it comes together in a blend. And normally what'll happen is during blending, we'll put something together and we'll go off on a tangent. And it'll be like, oh, hey, a 50% of this and a 30% of that and a 20% of this, that's got something. Let's put a pin in that and come back to it and see if we can come up with a Wreckless Wred. That's often how it goes. In this case, what I wanted to do is take us through 17, 18, and 19. And what I've done is I've poured the wine here, and I've just put a little indicator on the base of the wine glass with a Sharpie. You don't need any special pins or anything. It wipes off fairly easily, just a little scouring pad. It'll just come right off. But I wrote 17, 18, and 19. Now, I'm going to do this here with the Wreckless Wred, and I found just a handful of bottles of the Wreckless Wred, the 17 Wreckless Wred, and we have a handful of bottles of the 18 left. So if you're at one of these, and just ask and see if we've got any left, because hey, we'll put together a 3-pack for you, and that's a pretty cool deal. We are doing that with the Sangiovese right now, limited time at the Wreckless wine events. We have a 17, 18, and 19 Sangiovese 3-pack that we've got going on, and if you're a wine club member, you get a 30% discount. If you're interested in become a wine club member, go to the website. There's a form in there to put your name in the queue. So let's get going on the tasting here. The 17, now the 17's got some really fantastic grapes here. It was the OG, right? So this is the original one. I made a video about what happened the day we made this, and how I came up with this label, and I think I even read the back label, which is fantastic. In this case, so this has got Barbera, so it's got a chunk of Barbera, about 40% of it's Barbera. Then it goes Sangiovese about 20%, Touriga 14%, and then it goes into smaller increments of Merlot, Syrah, Tempranillo, Tinto Cow, Suzhou, and Tinta Amarella. That's a lot of different varietals in this one blend, and it shows because it's taken a little bit for this to really meld. It melded fairly early, so it came out of the bottle fantastic. And right now, this thing is drinking beautifully. So if you have any of this at home, it is worthwhile popping right now and enjoying. It'll stay for quite a bit longer, but it's showing up nicely. All right, the first sip says complexity. Right, you can definitely get some of the Touriga in here. You get that depth. It's got these wonderful bright notes. These notes with the brightness and the acidity from the Barbera. So you get this high note through there. Boy, it really fills up the mouth. Nice mouth feel. Depth, depth, depth. Long finish. So, Yep. Boy, it's got some complexity. I enjoying the heck out of this one. Now, I'm going to leave a little bit in here because what I want to do is be able to go, I'm going to do a tasting of each, and then I want to be able to compare and go back and forth just a little bit. Of course, I have just a little bit more of it left here. So this is the 18. Boy, this is different. This is different. So this is fewer varietals with more structure to it. So it's got 45% Merlot, and then it's got 15% of Barbera and Sangiovese. So that's a pretty interesting combination right there. Very, that's very kind of super Tuscan, Italian, those three grapes together. But then it's got Sagrantino, so you're going to get some real nice tannin structure. And then it's got Touriga, so Touriga adding more depth to it. I am a huge fan of the 18 Wreckless Wred. And I enjoy the 17 a lot. The 18, it's like a really interesting comparison to go between these two, because I thought, well, I'm obviously going to like the 17 better. It's got more structure and it's got all this complexity, but the 18 is right there next to it. Oh yeah. So it's got, ooh, yum. So the Touriga has added some earthy notes to this. So it's got the brightness and the smoothness, right? From the Barbera and the Sangiovese, you get a little bit of that, and it's got this earthiness to it, and then these long tannins from the Sagrantino. So what a beautiful, wonderful glass of wine. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the 19. All right, so this is the 60s version of the label, and this is the 70s version, so, right, well, it's a lot of fun to make these, and I don't know if I'm going to keep going with the different, decades or not. We'll see how that goes. But the 19 has a smoothness to it. Right out of the chute, this thing was smooth and very, very drinkable, nicely approachable, but it's got enough structure to it that it'll stand up to food. It will be a great wine to enjoy sitting out on the deck in an early evening. Yeah, this has got a lot of good stuff here. Okay, so 40% Merlot, 20% Sangiovese, 20% Barbera. Okay, so there's a theme here. Merlot, Barbera, Sangiovese. Well, of course, those are three of our varietals that we make a lot of. So it makes sense that those would be in here. Touriga, and then Primitivo in this one, rather than Sagrantino. If I remember right, we did work with the Sagrantino, and we tried that in here, and it stomped on things a little bit. We wanted a little bit more elegance with the 2019. And I mean, these are bolder, stronger wines, and this one is much more elegant, and yeah. So let's talk about it. And so that Sagrantino is a big influence on the elegance. Yeah. Boy, the nose is gorgeous. All these red fruit, a little bit of rose, so some perfumey flavors, some floral notes. Wow. Okay, I gotta get through 3 sips of this, because these are heavier. The other 2 years are a bit heavier, so I probably did it in reverse order, but I wanted to do it that way. Yep. Okay. Yes. So this is a medium-bodied wine. So it's not big and bold, but it will stand up to food for sure. I wouldn't put it with a steak or anything with a heavy sauce or anything like that. Maybe not. Well, I don't know. Right there. If you're going to have a big steak, this is probably not the wine. This would be the first course wine. So your appetizers, you could do even a little heavier appetizers. If you got a soup going, you got a salad going, this would go really well with that. And then you pivot up to, you could even do that. You could even have a 3-course Wreckless Wred. Oh, that would be great. make a meal that's 3 courses of the Wreckless Wred, because what you've got is, you know, the lighter style with a 19. You could move to, and you can make this decision if you serve the 18 next or the 17 next, but you probably go lightest to darkest or the heaviest, and so 19, 18 for the middle, and then 17 at the end. That would be so much fun. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Oh, there it is. Just beautiful. It is a gorgeous, oh, that is so lovely. Okay, so now that I've warmed up my palate a bit, I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go from the 19 back to the 17. If I'm going to do the 17, I keep looking at, there's just enough in here, and I don't want to, I don't want to be chintzy on it. Okay, so the 19. Starter wine. Good, good. Oh, yum. Yeah. So the 18, you get more body, you get broader flavors, the longer flavors, and then the 17, yeah, that would be the one to serve at the end. You could go either way with the 17 or the 18, because the 18 has that Sagrantino in it, so it's got some depth and some brawn to it to stand up to any kind of big meal. But that order, 18 or 19, 18, 17, you can't go too wrong with that. Yeah, so this was fun, and I hope you get a chance to try this. And I'm a professional, but you can try this at home as well. With that, I'm Rocket. This has been another Musings from Rocket's Cellar.